What's up, everyone? My name is Alex, and welcome to my little corner of the internet. I am doing this series all about being bigender. I am calling it Pieces of Me. I want to talk about all the little pieces of my gender identity coming together to make one whole me. So, being bigender, having two genders, for me, as of now, I guess where it started was I discovered that I was a demi guy, demi boy, whatever you want to call it. I partially identified with the male experience. I talked about that so much during my Identity Talk series. That was the 40 plus episode series where I discussed all kinds of facets of my identity, outside of gender, within gender, just everything. And I talked about being a demi guy and, partially male, but there might be another part to that. That's not always the case. Some people are just a demi boy. Some people are part male, part genderless. It can be any parts really in any portion, fraction. Like, it can be 50-50, it can be 70-30. Like, it depends on the person and how they view their gender and how their experiences are, how their experiences tie in with the label they've chosen. So some people are like 99% male, but there's like just a little bit, just a fraction of something else there. In my case, I don't think it's 50-50. I think in my case, it's still male and neutroy, mostly male, and the neutroy part is kind of a weird area for me. I always, for a while, I was accepting that, that partly gender neutral part of me, that gender neutral part of me was just a gray area, and I was accepting for a while that maybe there's not much there to look at. Maybe it's just a murky area, something blurred, something intangible. But it was really I wasn't accepting the fact that I was bigender. I was, I went through this whole list of these are the things I'm not, which is a great place to start if you're questioning your gender. It's good to start with what you are not, and to list off the things like, I know I'm not a woman. I know my gender is not fluid, it's static. I know that I don't have more than one gender. That was my original list. And that I'm mostly male, and there might be another part to it. There was all kinds of factors that I made sure made it into that list. And I had decided masculinity doesn't play a role in my gender other than passing as male. I don't call myself transmasculine, even though I do technically fit the term. I believe it's just transitioning in a masculine way, physically, socially, or both. And for me, I do fit that definition, but I never wanted to call myself masculine in any way, in a label that I was trying to choose for myself. So not demi-masculine or anything like that. And something clicked one day. I told this story not too long ago where I had a dream that I was coming out as bigender on the internet. I was going to post it on Twitter, and I woke up and I immediately grabbed my phone because I was going to post, hey, I had a gender revelation. And then I realized that, that was just sort of a weird dream that I was bigender. That was just a strange, I don't know, I was having a dream about labels, and I wouldn't have thought I was bigender. I knew there were two pieces of my gender that came together to make one solid identity. I still don't know what that meant for me. If it's part male and part gender neutral, what's the whole of that? A gender neutral male, a neutroy demi boy? I like the rhyming scheme, but it just didn't make sense. Trying to figure it out, and I think in my head I was avoiding considering myself multi-gender in any way, and I don't think I really understood what it meant to be bigender. I had to look up what bigender meant and like what kind of experiences fall under that, because I have a really bad habit of not accepting that some labels are umbrella terms, whether it's a very large umbrella like trans or non-binary, or a smaller umbrella like bigender, trigender, polygender. Not many like gender experiences under that, but it still means it's an umbrella for several different types of experiences in some way. I learned that Neutroy was a umbrella term for quite a few experiences. Sometimes it's synonymous with agender. Sometimes it means being outside of male or female. Sometimes it means being somewhere in the middle, some kind of androgynous identity. For some people, it just means like a completely neutral gender. There's so many different experiences under that. But for some reason, I just never realized that bigender is kind of the same way. I know it means two genders, but it doesn't mean two genders exactly 50-50, not for everyone. It doesn't mean like exactly 50-50, both genders equal and static and by themselves standalone genders. For me, there's a lot of overlap, and I talked about describing my gender as the core being myself, who I am, and these two genders that kind of surround it or orbit it, kind of like a tiny solar system. And there's a lot of overlap when like the two genders kind of cross. So in my head, that means static gender. There are aspects of the gender that change, but I don't think that I am gender fluid in that sense. And gender fluid doesn't really explain what genders I'm fluid between. I feel like gender fluid insinuates a lot of blurriness between identities. And for me, the two identities are very distinct. So bigender specifies that it's two genders. And when I looked up what bigender meant, there was like kind of like another name for it, dual gender. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone calling it dual gender, but when you say dual, it makes me think of two sides of the same coin. And I think that was something clicked. There was something in my head that told me that fits somehow. Two sides of the same coin, not two completely separate pieces of my identity, just by themselves, like 50% male, 50% neutroy, with no overlap or like anything in between, just these two distinct things. But dual gender sounds right, at least that, like calling it that. So then I realized bigender can mean my own experience of these two possibly partial genders working together to create one whole static gender identity. And that's what this series is about. This is talking about the pieces of me, pieces of my gender experience, all coming together to make up this larger identity of mine. And for the next, I don't know, this series is going to go on for a while, but I don't know how long I want it to go on. So far, I only have about maybe 10 episodes planned out, just as I like kind of get started figuring out what I want to do with it. But I want to talk about this very specific gender experience and what it means to be that gender. And there's no outline. I'm not reading off of anything. I keep looking at myself in the camera, not the camera there, but I'm looking at my computer screen and looking at myself. I don't know why. I haven't moved, so I'm still in frame. I don't know what the heck I'm even looking at over there. But yeah, I'm not going to write an outline. I might write some like vague bullet points on what kind of things I want to cover, but this is going to be largely off the cuff and talking about my own experiences in sort of a candid way, almost just talking. That's the whole point of this channel anyway. But I also want to keep these videos a little bit short. They're going to be around the like 10 to 15 minute mark. 15 is pushing it, but that's my goal for this series, is just short, easy to digest videos where I talk about specifically being bigender. Next episode, I'm going to be breaking down what does male mean in my case, what does neutroi mean for me, like talking about the two pieces that make up my bigender identity. And I mean, I hope everyone, I hope you enjoy this video series. It's replacing Identity Talk. That was my Monday morning video series, but now we have pieces of me. So enjoy that. And I mean, I'm just gonna see how it goes, see how this series goes. And anyway, I am signing off for now. See you later.